Hey, it's David BreezeFlippers. It's been an interesting day. I've had a lot of reflection today, actually, and it all happened at our booth. Our booth's been doing okay. I think it's been doing okay until I talked to somebody whose booth is doing a lot better. And I know I talked about not being jealous of other people, and I'm not jealous. It just got me thinking. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And what are we doing different? And it really comes down to sourcing. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. I had some sales this weekend, not a lot. This week's been good, okay for us, I guess, in perspective. Has been okay. We've had about $654 in sales, so total of 15 going out. This week has always been kind of slow for us. It was slow last year, and comparatively, it's about the same as it was last year. We did have a sale in, and we just started a new sale, so maybe that'll kick some things up. I've sent out a ton of offers, which I find kind of interesting. So I think we're kind of in that lull stage. I mean, sometimes January does fairly well. Our first quarter last year was okay. Our second quarter killed last year. Third quarter was hard, and then fourth quarter did pretty good. So I think if we kind of stay on that path, but we may do the same thing. We're going to try some different stuff too this first quarter to kind of spur things along. But one of the things that happened today has really got me thinking was, I talked to this guy at their booth, and he has a lot of collectible stuff in his booth and a lot of Pokemon cards and baseball cards. He had some comics in there too. He was selling as a set, not like individual comics, but an entire set. And I asked him, I go, well, where do you get all your stuff? And he buys storage units. He says he buys between 2 and 3 storage units a week, and he works full time. So he drives a truck, so he's home several days and then he's gone several days. But I found this interesting, and it just kind of gave me some perspective because he's telling me that his booth is doing $150 a day last month in December, which it's Christmas, but he had a lot of cool stuff. I've bought stuff from him because it was very inexpensive. So it got me thinking, though, was about sourcing. This weekend, sourcing was horrible. I didn't find any garage sales yesterday. One sale, maybe two, and it just wasn't even worth going out, right? It wasn't even worth the gas. So it got me thinking about what am I doing differently and what everybody else is doing differently. Now, I'd love some comments, guys. All right, so if you're full-time or part-time, let me know. Or are you doing storage units? Are you finding alternative sourcing? I don't mean for you to give me your secret. I'm not asking for a secret. I'm looking for ideas. I just want to hear what other people are doing. I'm curious because I've watched some of the, Kevin and Dave and all those guys buy storage units, and they had terrible deal with them. But I'm listening to this guy, and he's talking about buying he bought a storage unit that had Pokemon cards in it, bought it for $175, sold a card for $350, and that was under market. And he found another pack in there that sells for $400 that he's got for $350. So it makes me think, golly, it's like I don't care about Pokemon cards, but if I found them, I would sure learn about them. It's got me thinking about the storage, trying to figure out a way to source. One day a week for me sourcing on a Saturday and Sherry and I going out and spending, a good part of the day, we can get a lot of stuff, but we can't get the kind of stuff to make the kind of money that we need. And this is the dilemma that I'm in. So it's got me thinking. It had me thinking all the way today after talking to him. Now, on the upside of that, it's great to meet people like that because I never was able to hook up with the guy that had the warehouse with all the comic books in it, but I'm hoping maybe next weekend before I go to Atlanta, I can talk with him. But this guy also he said he has about 10 or 12 boxes of comics, short boxes, that he wants to get rid of because he just feels like he doesn't want to sell comics. But he also sells on eBay. So I'm a little confused by the information he's given me because he's like, oh, I sold this set, for $200 on eBay, and I sold this, and they're complete runs, and they're really nice. And I told him before, because I had talked to him before, and I said, I can't pay. I'm not going to pay you what you're going to get on eBay for those. I'm not buying them for a collection. I'm buying to resell just like you. So, I said I'm usually 30 to 40% of the value if that's right, which is, fair for a book that maybe needs to be press cleaned or anything like that. If it's a valuable book, I probably would go up to 60, 70, 80%, as long as I know I'm going to get the return on the value. But not all books are like that. Comic books are kind of fickle, I sell at full market. I like to go in at market. So I use a lot of different apps. I use Go Collect, and I use Cover Price, and I also use Key Collector, and I also use price charting. So I use all those different ones because I want to know what the average is. And they all kind of figure their averages differently, but they do come up with a fair market value. I use Go Collect a lot for figuring out market values for graded comics. I will use it. Sometimes Key Collector doesn't give me the right numbers, but a lot of times I'll use cover price to get raw comic values, and it's pretty close to what you see. And of course, a lot of people say, you know, use eBay. I use eBay because eBay is what people are willing to pay, right? So, and that could change. That fluctuates over time. But you also got people like this guy who just tanks the market on them. So he's just like he says, well, if the, you know, if something's supposed to sell for $30, he's selling it for 19. And I'm like, that's not a bad way of doing it. He's making a good amount of money. But yeah, he's going to tank the market on it. And that's, you know, I've done that before. Actually sold some graded comics one time. Just, they'd been there for a while, and I tanked the market. I basically, these were selling for 200 and 200, 250. I believe it was a Mark Brooks book, and I'm trying to remember which one it was. But anyway, I just took a lower offer. I sold it for like 175 or 160. I mean, I tanked the market by $100. So all the other books kind of follow that. You know, they'll start to go, oh, this is what they sell for. But on eBay, people are paying what they want to pay. But I mean, that kind of is the market. So even though you can go on some of these, you can go on Cover Price or, you know, a lot of those, and you can look at it and say, well, it says the last one sold for this amount, but you go down and you start looking down the list, then they give the fair market value. The fair market value is just an average of all those sales. So I always price right at fair market value or just below. And then, you know, I'm willing to offer. So take offers, do whatever. So I send out offers all the time. And that seems to work for me. But yeah, it just got me thinking, guys, and I'd love to hear your comments, okay? So again, this year we're going to do a little bit more. And first of all, I got to apologize. Sherry's not here today. She actually had something that she had to go do. And so I said I'll just shoot the video today. So we'll catch her on next week. We will be going to Atlanta the week after next, and I'm going to shoot some video. So I'm going to show you guys what it looks like in the world of commerce, of where buying it happens, you know, for a lot of stores. It is kind of cool. There's some places that don't like you to photograph, but I'll photograph from the outside, or I'll try to be discreet and sly about it. But I will be definitely shooting some video and trying to get it posted, and maybe doing some shorts and stuff like that for you guys so you can kind of see it. But anyway, I don't know, just kind of had that whole reality thing that hit me today. And it kind of got me thinking about, you know, what can I do differently? I mean, like I said, I'd love to hear your comments, guys. I'd love to hear your comments. And tell me what you're doing differently. You know, I always like to, there's got to be other ways to source. I've been to all the thrift markets, thrift stores last week. You know, I was off. I went to a bunch of them. I found one thing to sell. It was a electronic Monopoly game that was from 1999. Worked great. I'll probably get 22 bucks for it, paid $4 for it. It's not a great buy, and I'm not going to make a ton of money from it. So I don't know, you know, and I am trying to make more contacts. That's one of the things I'm doing this year. I have a ton of business cards. I just hand out business cards left, right, left, right. And I try to get as many contacts out there as I can. And now I'm working, though I'm learning. You can hand out a business card, sometimes you never get a call. You need to get their phone number and call them. And that's what I've been doing that too. So I'm trying to find more ways to get more things. Like I know this one guy that has video games. I got to get a hold of him and see if I can buy some of those. So I'm looking for, you know, people the same way. A lot of popular, you guys might be doing too, but you got to build those contacts. I just don't think I can build the business to the size that I want to this year without finding alternate sources of things to sell. I mean, it's just not going to happen. Like we're low on inventory right now, and I don't have a lot of stuff to list. I have a lot of comics to list, and I do those over time and slowly, but I don't have a lot of other stuff to list. So I don't know. It just kind of hit me today. So I'm like, I got to do something, right? So that's something we're going to be working on. But anyway, we can talk real quick about what sold. I'm just looking at the, you know, what we're doing for this month. Honestly, we're pretty much on track with what we did last year. It's a slow start. We're only, what, 4 days into the month? I'm not that worried about it. I think, you know, it will pick up, and I think we will definitely see what's going on, you know, in the coming months. Now, there could be a lot of stuff that's going on. A lot of stuff going on in the world of politics and, you know, everything else that's going on out there in the world. So I do think that there's still some caution in buying. I don't know. We'll see what's going to go on, but anything could happen. But let's take a look real quick at what sold. I'll start out with, I did sell a comic. Speaking of comics, actually, this is kind of cool. It's called Tiger Division, #1, 2022 Lobos Virgin. Definitely, it's just a cool looking, I like the picture on this one. And it is a Lobos, so just kind of pretty. I've never read Tiger Division. I don't have to read them, but I can say that it's a pretty cover. So I ended up getting $9 for that, and I got $5.99 shipping. So that's about typical. This one I went back and forth on. So I've got 4 of the Merrymakers left, and I talked about these. They sold over Christmas, and these are the Department 56 Merrymakers. This one is called Maxwell, and the mixer, it is complete in box. It is a big set, right? It's got Maxwell in there. He's got his mixer. He's got his table, his flour, his rolling pins. He's got pies. He's got bowls. It's kind of cool looking, to be honest with you. This is one of the bigger ones I've had. Oddly enough, I have 3 of them, and none of them sold over Christmas. But I got an offer. She sent me an offer for $18. And I had it listed at, I think I was on sale. I got 20% off on it. I think it was $31. And I priced it at the market that, you know, people were buying at Christmas. It didn't sell. And none of them sold. All the other little ones sold, but this big one, they didn't. So I sent her an offer back. I said, I'll take 22 for it. Because, you know, I'm not always going to take the first offer. But I sent an offer back. I said I'd take 22 for it, and she sent me an offer back for 20. I'm getting $7.99 shipping, so I took it. I mean, it's, you know, it might be worth a little bit more, but I have 3 of them. So I am trying to reduce some of this stuff that I don't need, because we'll find more Christmas stuff hopefully by the end of the year. We did really well with Christmas stuff this year, so I got to look at those numbers and kind of, you know, crunched that a little bit to see where we were, but we did really well. $135 buy. I think we probably did somewhere in the vicinity of $600 to $800. So definitely happy with that. But you know, we'll probably look for more stuff next year. Next, I sold a hat. This is the USS Oriskany CVA 34 ball cap. It is vintage. It does have, I'm pretty sure this one had made in the USA somewhere on it. Yeah. This one is made in the USA, has a made in the USA tag on it. Just doesn't have the made in the USA snapback on it, which is kind of odd. But definitely older hat. If I get a chance, and I'd be curious if anybody else picks these up. I pick these up when I see them. If they're in good shape and not completely worn, like this one's really good shape. It's clean. It's very clean. But if they're in really good shape, I generally pick them up because there is always somebody looking for these hats. They might have lost theirs, they might have worn theirs out. This is definitely a hat that you wear with pride. You served on this ship at some point. So, and the USS Oriskany, I want to say, CV-34, I want to say that they commissioned that boat here in Pensacola, if I'm remembering correctly. And somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. I want to say that it was a light amphibious unit is what I want to say. It's been a while. I don't keep up with all the Navy ships, but I seem to remember the Oriskany might be the one that my in-laws actually got a ride on when it came from Mobile to Pensacola. So I'd have to look that up and see, but they were one of the people that were honored with that ride. And I want to say it was the Oriskany. I'm pretty sure it was. So anyway, it's probably got some history. I should have looked it up before I did anything. Next time. Anyway, so it sold. I ended up getting $12.15 for it. Again, I'm into that hat for less than $2, probably closer to $1. And $12.15. We get $4.99 shipping. That's the other thing I've been debating on, guys. Shipping prices. So I noticed that I think the new prices just started for shipping. Like the hats have been shipping for $4.99. So if I ship this hat right now, to most places it's $4.99. Now I'm charging $4.99, so I'm not getting the 80 cents or 40 or 50 cents that I have in the box back or any of the materials. So I don't know. It's a tough decision. My hat prices, I think, you know, have been good. They're low. I mean, this isn't a bread and butter thing, but I think I'm gonna have to raise prices on some of the shipping. Just got to take a look at it. I do flat rate. I know a lot of people do calculated shipping, which is great if that works for you. I just never really did the calculated part. I always did flat rate, and it seemed to work. Like you win some, you lose some on flat rate. Sometimes you win a little more, sometimes you lose a little more. This year it's been a bit difficult. We've probably lost a few on Christmas because of the stuff that was heavier than we thought. So we're going to definitely do something different. But that's what's going out, guys. So like I said, about $654 in the week. We sold some cool stuff. I got that camera that I listed. I'm waiting to see if somebody picks it up. I'm hoping somebody does. I don't know. I've sent out a couple offers on it, so we'll see. It might sell next week. If so, that's a good $200 sale. And I'm still picking up cameras every time I see them. So, but that's what's going on, guys. Not a lot today. Like I said, Sherry apologized. She couldn't be here. She had to run something and go do something. But it's going to be a short one this week. I appreciate everybody that's come over to the channel. I appreciate everybody that's subscribed. We're going to do a lot of fun stuff. I got some stuff I'm trying to look at doing this week. We'll talk about it. I got an auction coming up Tuesday night on DibDit, DibDit.com. If you come over there, you can use BreezeFlips and get $5 off your first $10 purchase. We're going to do some fun games. I got a spinning wheel that we might use, and I've got a Plinko board. So we're going to see what we're going to do. We're going to do some fun stuff and some giveaways. We've been having a blast. My daughters have been killing it on Whatnot. I still can't do Whatnot for me. It still doesn't work as well for me. So there's a lot of comic sellers on Whatnot, and that's the stuff that I would sell. But I do very well with it on DibDit, and I like that team over there. But my kids are killing it on Whatnot. My daughter had an auction last night. She did $350 in sales, did about 2 hours of sales. So I don't know, you know, to each their own, but she's selling stuff to a completely different crowd than I would sell stuff to. So, but yeah, so I'm very proud of how she's doing and how they're doing. I've got two great entrepreneur children. Both of my daughters are doing Whatnot and doing great sales. So it's a lot of fun. My older daughter has a sale tonight, so we're going to sit down and watch that with her. We always just like to give her some insight and ideas. Not that I know everything, but I know enough. And so to kind of help out at least and give her some ideas and stuff. And we helped her get organized. We got her a printer and stuff so she could do label printing a lot easier than what she was doing. But I don't know. So we'll see what's going on this week, guys. But I got some stuff we'll do. And then again, next week, we will definitely, that week after next when we're in Atlanta, we'll definitely shoot some video and show you guys some of this crazy stuff that we see at the market. It is huge. I have to take you guys down and walk you through the, what they call the cash and carry, which is basically exactly what it says. It's all like jewelry and just eclectic kind of stuff. You can cash and carry out of there. A lot of people go down there and buy at wholesale prices and then resell it. But again, you're buying wholesale. So a lot of times that's 40 to 50% of the retail price. And that's not what we sell for on eBay. So it's hard to sell some of that stuff. But I am looking for some things for our booth and some things we can do. But anyway, throw me your ideas, guys. What do you guys do? I'd be curious to hear how you guys are changing up any of your sourcing that you do this year. So leave a comment and tell me what you do for sourcing. You don't have to give me your secrets. You can just kind of tell me what you do. And have you tried a storage unit? And if you've tried a storage unit, how successful was the storage unit? It's something I'm definitely thinking about. I'm thinking about a lot of things right now. I've got a lot of business ideas flowing through my head, but storage unit was one of them. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great week. I think I actually hear Sherry out there, so maybe I'll get to talk to her real quick. But I hope you guys have a great week, safe week, and sales pick up for everyone. I'm David BreezeFlippers. We'll see.
BreezeFlippers on the scene, bright sun, smooth screen, click, flip, ship, it's clean. We ride the tide, we chase the dream. From the beach to the bin, we're digging gold, finding treasure in the